All right, my beautiful people, this is ERGJ, your certified financial educator, back with the Financial Book Club, our nightcap. Tonight's episode is brought to you by True Detergent. That's right, True. Best way. Oh, True Detergent, right? It's a black-owned and manufactured laundry detergent company. They manufacture. We're a distributor here in the Atlanta area. That's 101 ounces. You get 101 loads for $15. Of course, we will actually deliver it to you personally, so you get a chance to meet ERGJ in person. So anyway, if you're interested in that, give us a call, 678-851-2400. That's True Detergent. Go ahead and make the switch. Tonight we are actually going through, again, back on the Financial Book Club. This is absolutely my #1 book. If someone want to ask me what book should I read if I want to change my financial life, this is the book that changed my financial life. So I figured I'd bring it to you. I would represent it. I would introduce it to the village because it's a book that was written back in 1926 called The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. Now, of course, if you want to get this book, you get it through me at www.ergj.net. I recommended read section. Of course, I am recommending the book to you, so why not buy it through us? But I know you don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. I don't know if we're going to get through this whole section or not tonight, but we're going to make it as far as we can before I start to lose people. It's only 17 pages, but kind of read slow. So we'll see how far we get. The Richest Man in Babylon. This is the section called The Richest Man in Babylon. If you remember, yesterday we talked about they were actually looking for this man named Arcad, who was the richest man in Babylon, so they can go and speak to him. Well, tonight we're going to talk about how Arcad became the richest man in Babylon, his journey to becoming the richest man in Babylon. So let us begin. In old Babylon, there once lived a certain city, a certain very rich man named Arcad. Far and wide, he was famed for his great wealth. Also was he famed for his liberality. He was generous in his charities. He was generous with his family. He was liberal in his own expenses. But nevertheless, each year his wealth increased more rapidly than he spent. So no matter how much he spent, he would always increase in wealth, increase in income, increase in earnings. And there were certain friends of younger days who came to him and said, "You, Arcad, are more fortunate than we. You have become the richest man in all Babylon while we struggle for existence. You can wear the finest garments and you can enjoy the rarest foods while we must be content if we can clothe our families in raiment that is presentable and feed them as best we can. Yet, once we were equal, we studied under the same master. We played in the same games. And neither the studies nor the games did you outshine us. And in the years since, you have been no more an honorable citizen than we. Nor have you worked harder or more faithfully insofar as we can judge. Why then should a fickle fate single you out to enjoy all the good things of life and ignore us who are equally deserving?" Thereupon Arcad remonstrated with them, saying, "If you have not acquired more than the bare existence in the years since we were youth, it is because you either have failed to learn the laws that govern the building of wealth, or else you do not observe them." I'll repeat that again. It's either you have failed to learn the laws, everybody put in the comments below, learn the laws that govern the building of wealth, or else you do not observe them. Fickle fate is a vicious goddess who brings no permanent good to anyone. On the contrary, she brings ruin to almost every man upon whom she showers unearned gold. She makes wanton spenders who soon dissipate all they receive and are left beset by overwhelming appetites and desires they have not the ability to gratify. Hey, what's going on, Tasha? Hey, Myra. Hey, Anika. Gratify. Yet others whom she favors become misers and hoard their wealth, fearing to spend what they have, knowing they do not possess the ability to replace it. They further are beset by fear of robbers and doom themselves to live to lives of emptiness and secret misery. Others there probably are, who can take unearned gold and add to it and continue to be happy and contented citizens. But so few are they. I know of them, but by hearsay. Think you of the men who have inherited sudden wealth, and see if these things are not true, are not so. His friends admitted that of the men they knew who had inherited wealth, these words were true. And they besought him to explain to them how he had become possessed of so much prosperity. And so he continued, "In my youth, I looked about me and saw all the good things that were to bring happiness and contentment. And I realized that wealth increased the potency of all of these. Wealth is power." Put that in the comments below. Wealth is power. Wealth is a power. With wealth, many things are possible. One may ornament the home with the richest of furnishings. One may sail the distant seas. One may feast of the delicacies of far lands. One may buy the ornaments of the gold worker and the stone polisher. One may even build mighty temples for the gods. One may do all these things and many others in which there's delight for the senses and gratification for the soul. And when I realized all this, I decided to myself that I would claim my share of the good things of life. And guys, I think that's what many of us need to do. We need to decide for ourselves that we are going to claim our share of the good things in life. I would not be one of those who stand afar off and enviously watching others enjoy. I would not be content to clothe myself in the cheapest raiment that looked respectable. I would not be satisfied with the lot of a poor man. On the contrary, I will make myself a guest at the banquet of good things. Being, as you know, the son of a humble merchant, one of a large family with no hope of an inheritance, and not being endowed, as you so frankly said, with superior powers of wisdom, I decided that if I was to achieve what I desired, time and study would be required. Put that in the comments below. Time and study. He said time and study would be required. As for time, all men have it in abundance. You, each of you, have let slip by sufficient time to have made yourselves wealthy. Yet you admit you have nothing to show except your good families, of which you can be justly proud. As for study, did not our wise teacher teach us that learning was of two kinds? The one kind being the things we learned and knew. The other being the training that taught us how to find out what we did not know. The other being the training that taught us how to find out what we did not know. Therefore, I decided to find out how one might accumulate wealth. And when I had found out, to make this my task and do it well. For is it not wise that we should enjoy while we dwell in the brightness of the sunshine? For sorrows enough shall descend upon us when we depart for the darkness of the world of spirit. I found employment as a scribe in the hall of records. In long hours each day I labored upon the clay tablets. Week after week, month after month, I labored, yet my earnings I had not to show. Food and clothing and penance to the gods and other things of which I could remember not what absorbed all my earnings. But my determination did not leave me. And one day, Alchemist, the moneylender, came to the house of the city master and ordered a copy of the ninth law. And he said to me, I must have this in 2 days. And if the task is done by that time, 2 coppers will I give to thee. So I labored hard, but the law was long. And when Alchemist returned, the task was unfinished. He was angry and had I been a slave, he would have beaten me. But knowing the city master would not permit him to injure me, I was unafraid. So I said to him, Alchemist, you are a very rich man. Tell me how I may also become rich, and all night I will carve upon the clay. And when the sun rises, it shall be completed. He smiled at me and replied, you are a forward knave, but we will call it a bargain. All that night I carved, though my back pained and the smell of the wick made my head ache until my eyes could hardly see. But when he returned at sunup, the tablets were complete. Now, I said, tell me what you promised. You have fulfilled your part of our bargain, my son, he said to me kindly, and I am ready to fulfill mine. I will tell you these things you wish to know because I am becoming of an old man, and an old tongue loves to wag. And when youth comes to age for advice, he receives the wisdom of the years. But too often does youth think that the age knows only the wisdom of the days that are gone, and therefore profits not. But remember this, the sun that shines today is the sun that shone when thy father was born, and will still be shining when our last grandchild shall pass into the darkness. The thoughts of the youth, he continued, are bright lights that shine forth like meteors that often make brilliant the sky. But the wisdom of age is like the fixed stars that shine so unchanged that a sailor may depend upon them to steer his course. Mark your well my words, for if you do not, you will fail to grasp the truth that I will tell you, and you will think that your night's work has been in vain. Then he looked at me shrewdly from under his shaggy brown brows and said in a low, forceful tone, I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep, and so will you. I found my road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep, and so will you. Well, hey guys, I'm actually going to stop right there. That's going to give us about 9 more pages to go, 11 more pages to go to get to 28, but I think that's a good place to stop. Again, the moneylender who came in and started to change Arcad's life, he said this. He said, I found my road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep, and so will you. Well, I think that's a good thing to leave off on tonight. We actually picked up a piece of that on yesterday, but it's repeated again as we get to the moneylender, and we're going to find out as we continue to go through this part of the story that Algamesh is going to give him a roadmap and continue to mentor him towards wealth as well. Anyway, this is ERGJ from ERGJ Enterprise, our book club nightcap. I like to keep these as short as possible because I understand what it's like to just continue to have somebody read to you in a long, I don't know if I'm monotone or not. But we'll be back tomorrow to probably finish up this section of The Richest Man in Babylon. We'll continue moving forward. Again, this is the book that changed my financial life. I can only recommend it, but what I have learned is no matter how many times you recommend something, it's really up to you to get it. Anyway, today's episode is brought to you by True Detergent. That's right, black-owned, manufactured detergent right here in the Atlanta area. 101-ounce bottle, $15. We make it free delivery for you. You can do that by cash or by PayPal. Just give us a call, 678-851-2400. It's True Detergent. Go ahead and make the switch. All right, guys, you guys have a good night. See you soon.